got this incident report placing you there.
It was me that put Freddie down, Kane.
You never speak on that shit again, Fame. Not to me, not to nobody.
Having flashbacks when I put them bullets in his chest. Cause now I'm paranoid and all I see is death.
Warrant for your son's arrest. He's wanted for murder.
Motherfucker! Bullshit!
We can help you, Sean. But you need to help yourself.
Famous last words.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video, and this is a topic I've been seeing going around the Power fandom since the release of the new Raising Kanan trailer, and that's the fate of our boy Famous. Death or jail seems like the two most likely options, and a lot of people based off the new trailer is thinking death is on the way due to the teaser scene, the expression we seen Stefano say of Famous last words. So what I'm gonna do is break down everything in this video of Famous, of why both options are on the table, which one I more than likely see happening, and all the clues and details from the original Power and this one that could possibly showcase where he ends up by the end of Raising Kanan. So as usual, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe. Once again, let me know your depth predictions down below for this season, and also any other characters you want me to do a deep dive video on. I already did Unique, I already did Jukebox. Now we're on the Famous. Let me know who's next, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, to talk about the outcome and both of these theories, we got to start with where we left off with Famous at the end of season 3, which was him in police custody for the murder of Freddie and them asking him to snitch on Detective Howard. Now, we're going to get into all that and break it all down, but for those of you that forgot everything that went on with Famous at the end of season 2 and in season 3, I will try to run through it really quickly for you guys. In season 2, Famous, of course, killed Freddie, tried to rob him, ended up having to shoot him, and Freddie at that murder said his name. He said, "I know it's you, Famous," and the neighbor heard it. He opened the door.
Oh, you ain't gonna do shit, Famous. I know it's you, motherfucker.
Going into season 3, Famous and Kanan, of course, getting into the streets, and the police pulled up at the apartments and take Famous. He gets interrogated, and they ask him specifically about Freddie, and they tell him they have evidence placing him at that apartment days before the crime happened. And he was like, days before and the same day ain't the same thing.
Me, how we got this incident report placing you there.
Now, this is important because the days prior that placed Famous there led to the first time he was arrested. What happened was that was the day that Freddie robbed Kanan and Famous, and they had to go get their shit back. Freddie pulled up on them, took the chain, took Kanan's bag with the drugs for rock and everything like that, so they had to go get all that back. And when they went to go do that, Kanan beat the fuck out Freddie. He was beating the shit out of him, pistol whipped him, and Famous was telling him, "We gotta go." This is important because that same neighbor that heard Freddie say Famous' name and opened the door when Famous killed Freddie is the same one who saw Kanan and Famous beating the fuck out Freddie, but he didn't know their names at the time. Now, this is important because we know Famous has now recorded 411, the song basically admitting to, confessing, and talking about his regrets of the murder of Freddie. Lou fully produced it, and he gave him the song. We just recently saw in season 3 episode 9, the lady at the bar played that song for a record exec that owns a bunch of independent labels. Now, funny enough, that neighbor or the new song isn't even how they caught Famous. I had to mention those things because they could possibly resurge or come back up in season 4. But how they caught him was this nigga decided to keep the gun he used to kill him, and he went and moved back in his mom's house. He put the gun at the top of his closet, and his mom turned it in to the police. When they ran ran the ballistics and everything like that, they connected it back to the murder of Freddie. Now, something to pay attention to once again is the cop that's been interviewing him about the murder twice now is also the same cop that interviewed the old man in the apartment about the murder. That's why I said we just gonna look out for it to see if it comes back full circle. But now we get into the Howard side of things. While they were interrogating him and telling him maybe they could get him off on self-defense and shit like that, they asked him specifically about Detective Howard.
We can help you, Sean. But you need to help yourself.
When you were detained outside the victim's apartment building at an earlier date, you ultimately came into contact with Detective Malcolm Howard without the filing of any charges. We'd like to know more about that.
How he got him out of prison one time, or got him out of jail one time and didn't do any write-ups. And Kanan went and beat the shit out Freddie, and when they were leaving, police came, pulled up on them. Kanan got away, but of course Famous got caught and he was put in a holding cell. Rock didn't want to help Kanan get him out of jail, so Kanan of course went to his dad Howard. Him being a cop, he was easily able to do it. So that's what they was referencing right here. And they also mentioned it in 2 scenes within season 3 when Famous first got arrested, and they said they had something that put him at the site that Freddie was killed days prior.
How we got this incident report placing you there.
Now, of course, the good news for Famous, at least, is that Rock took care of that nigga Howard. Now, of course, he don't know that Howard is dead right now, and Kanan and them don't know that he has been arrested. But maybe once they find out, they give him the leeway or the right to go ahead and just bury Howard already, because they've already been looking into him for the longest now. Or he decides to just snitch himself, and this is what possibly leads to his death later on. We're going to get into that in a little. But another theory, a quick theory I want to throw out there that a lot of people have been mentioning is the guy from the original Power that's in the cell with Kanan. People believe for some reason that this could possibly be Famous, that he's just gonna go to jail for life. It's him playing chess. I think they were playing a checkers or some shit with Kanan in the original Power. I don't know how much I believe that theory, but if he was to go down for this murder, I guess that's very likely. But with them giving them the out of snitching on Howard, getting him out the way, this could possibly put him into some trouble with the streets. We're gonna have to see how Kanan, Rock, and everyone else reacts to him being in jail and what their plan will be going forward. Now we finally get into the death theory side of things, and people believe he's gonna die for 2 main reasons that kind of connect at this point. One, dealing with the new season 4 trailer with Stefano saying the saying or the expression famous last words.
Famous last words.
A lot of people find this interesting because we already don't see Famous at all within the trailers, and then with everything I just explained about his current situation, him being possibly going to jail, possibly snitching, anything like that, how that could come into effect on what happens to him within season 4. But then when you connect that back to the original Power, a lot of people talk about the fact that Famous' real name is Sean. Of course, we know Kanan has his own son, and he goes on to name him Sean in the original Power. So a lot of people feel like something tragic had to happen to Famous in the past. This was a hard debt that Kanan felt, and that this was led him to name his son after him. I think that would ultimately make a lot of sense, and if Famous was gonna die anyway, at any time, I guess I could say, it would be within season 4 or 5 of Raising Kanan. It already kind of feels like him and Kanan's storylines are branching in different directions already at this point. They're not really tied into one another, and it feels like they're already hinting to us that this is possibly coming down the pipeline. So I think he's going to be a lot of people, or on a lot of people's death predictions for this upcoming season, just based off the hints that they've been given, these clues, context clues, I guess you could say. There's not really any hard evidence that shows any of this. I'm hoping to get a teaser trailer strictly focused on him, how he just got one on Unique showing his whole revenge tour. Get one on Famous will give us a lot of insight on what their plans for him this season will be. But currently, we really just have no idea, which is why it kind of feels like he won't be around too much longer. Overall though, that's it for this video. You guys leave your thoughts and opinions on everything down below. Let me know how you think it ends for Famous, death or jail. Honestly, I'm leaning more towards death. I'm trying to see how they would set it up if the snitch angle, based off the storyline he's already in, what's already going on, not anything new that could pop up. Maybe it's some shit we haven't even seen him get into yet, but we're gonna have to wait and see for that. But it is strange that he's not in the trailer at all, and that they had the Italian nigga say that line. It just hints at too much, so I think that's the route they're gonna go. Once again, leave your full death predictions down below. I'm interested to see who a lot of y'all have to say, because I want to think about it. So far I only got Famous on my list. I'm leaning on the fence right now with Marvin, but killing off him and Cedar for that shit gonna hurt. Nigga don't want that to happen. But once again, leave that down below. Let me know what other character you wanted me to dive into next. I did Famous, Jukebox, and Unique. But as usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.